Hello and welcome to the White Label series. Today we talk about two related concepts. The first one is a task queue. The other is a background worker. This video is closely related to the previous one in the series, about finite state machines, linked above. I recommend watching it before watching this video. Let's talk about challenges next. Typically, the process for a user looks like this. They spend several seconds deciding which view to open, and click on something. Then the server generates the view in under 1/10 of a second. Then the user enters some data, let's say this takes around 30 seconds. And then the server has to validate this data, save, and generate the next view. This takes a long time, maybe up to 2/10 of a second. So, the server works under 1% of the time when a single user is using the software. Or, to put it differently, 1 minute for 2 hours a user works with the software. And most users don't use it more than that per week. So, let's say that server works for 1 minute per user per week. Let's have a look what happens when a vendor uses our control panel. Well, everything is pretty much the same, except the last line. Because most of changes require a new container to be deployed, plus some other stuff, so it takes a full minute. First of all, we cannot have the vendor wait for a full minute, sometimes longer, unable to do anything, right? Secondly, it takes the server twice as long to do the work than it took the vendor to enter the data, no matter what we do. And, thirdly, if the vendor does not wait, they may add or change several subscriptions in one go. And that adds up. Sure, the load can be spread over multiple cores, so 2 cores can do 2 of these in a minute. But, let's say the server has only 2. You don't want both of them to be doing this, at least one of them must be available for the clients, right? They are paying both the vendors and us. So, you want to go with the last row in that case. So, we want the tasks queued. And we want them to run in the background, allowing the vendors to keep working normally. We'll notify them when a task is done, but that is all. Okay, before I continue, I must stress several very important aspects. Our tasks are few and long-running. So, we can use the database as the broker. And a single first-in first-out queue works here. Which means we can keep it simple. And our control panel is based on Django. The simplest solution, in this case, is Django Q, a native Django task queue, scheduler, and worker application, using Python multiprocessing. And it has several features that are very important. Django admin integration, platform as a service compatible, support for various brokers, including Django RM, and integration with Sentry. We can see all queued tasks, those that finished successfully, and those that failed. And it is Django admin, so searching and filtering works as well. The importance of these other features will become obvious in future episodes. So, let me move on to the real topic here. What is actually happening? Procfile describes how the image should be run. In this case, it says that during the release, database should be created or updated. The second line, web, says which process is responsible for responding to client inputs. The third, worker, says that there is a process running in the background. In the last video, we had this diagram, basically the vendor changes settings, and then the new settings have to be applied. But, as we discussed, this process takes time. So, instead of starting immediately, this task is added to the task queue. There may be tasks before, and there will be tasks after. One or more background workers are running, doing one task at a time. So, a worker will ask for a task, and then start working on it. When it is done, it will ask for the next one. Eventually, our task will also be accomplished. And, just to give you an impression of the complexity of the task, here are the steps. As explained in the previous video, we managed to have a single task for all cases. You can find the whole series here. Below is my series about open source software for end users. If you are more interested in our actual offer, here is the software we are offering as that green thing, and is also available under other brands. And below is the series about its free open source sibling. Keep watching.